Smells like sage. Hey, so hats off to you. Sticker, apologies for recent throwback to when I had two sets of glasses look the same and these ones had the sticker. When I looked down I couldn't tell which was which except for the sticker. They have the marking of the strength on the sides. Anyway, I can't see without them. So this one was the one for my phone, which now is also needed in my environment, which is makes the other one unnecessary. So the sticker is an apology at this point, I suppose. This is gonna be a historic video, hey? All right, there. Four-eyed Renee no longer has a sticker. He's my 250 sticker. Okay. Anyway, well, that's something unique. I mean, that sticker's got to be like a lot of videos by now. I figured I had one intense vision, not so intense, but intense enough to actually become like a minor daydream of people calling it the Renee or something with a sticker. I was just like looking like an idiot wearing a sticker on their glasses. But it served a practical purpose, and we're all about serving a practical purpose. And I think that is exactly how we will identify with each other. Because this video, I do this. Okay, like this is my personal thing. I like, if I'm doing this, I'm choked up inside, and I'm really like I'm feeling it with you. So, and then if that moment passes, and you're still coming at me, I know we had a misunderstanding there. So just let it drive by. Okay? Just let it pass. I call us the honest, and that means, so I get this. So we've each done different. We've each had a very unique set of circumstances in our life, and most of it has not been happy, to say the least. I remember 12 years ago, there was this wonderful lady, and she was in this really great, like, just like minds, really like minds, who were just really lost out there and just like, what is going on? And she seemed to get like the main point of the story, and I remember she wrote back, she said, hey, this is from like years ago. I remember this. And like that was already years ago when she wrote that. So it's just like, this is like my yesterday. I'm still living this shit. Where are you in your world? So I know that I get wrapped up in my own stuff, but I mean, like, there are people in all four corners of the planet right now that are balancing like these spinning plates, and if we really step into their lives, it's like, how do you make that work? Like how do you make that work? And then sometimes we see the results as like these. What I see last time I watched this girl that was on a bike she was riding it not only backwards but backwards on the front tire or something. It's just wow, like just mesmerized by the skill. So we vent a lot of our skill into physical constructions, and we also use it as body art. And well, maybe this is the video to mention I'm a fan of Tia Ling. Yeah, I was a fan of Tia Ling. I'm also a fan of, here's another one. Oh, you guys are gonna freak. Vanessa Evans and the Willow Saga. Oh, wow. That's like, to just even put that out there, and then to say, well, I'm running for the position of Governor General of Canada. It's like, the media doesn't know what to do with that. So they're looking at that thinking, okay, is he a terrorist? So I'm pretty sure that I've been monitored and being monitored. But it's not paranoia. You see, it's going back to the idea of honest. This is where you can breathe a sigh of relief, guys. Like really, breathe a sigh of relief. Honesty means consistency, so that the public record always helps us, as long as we're writing a consistent story, no matter how absurd it seems to be. If you guys could just get a load of this shit that's flying around in my head. You've been laughing pretty hard too. So try to see from my perspective, okay? And then, and then after you see it from my perspective, if you're not completely rolling on the ground laughing, you gotta promise me you gotta douse some cold water on yourself and look in the mirror and like maybe also put a shoe on your head and like it's just too much. A psychiatrist. I woke up as an involuntary patient in Vancouver General Hospital on July 4th. By the end of the day, the psychiatrist asked the hospital to pay $1,000 airfare ticket to kick me out of British Columbia to Ontario. And then I didn't have anywhere to go. And he writes on the form, is returning home. Reason for discharge is returning home. There's no home in Toronto. There's nothing there. Just the most unwelcome person in Ontario, period. And I think even the police can testify to that. So, I'm not talking about the BC police. I'm talking about the whole Barrie Courthouse. Oh dear. I spent 3 years causing a ruckus there. Oh, these poor people. And then I published a book about it in the Taiwan courthouse. Then I sent it back to the Law Society by PDF. That's at 2019.talk2dream.com. It's in the descriptions of this video. 2012 to 2018, the very bottom link there, in the list there, almost near the bottom. And then... do you know what consistency is like? Like, honestly, do you know what consistency is like? It's two ends that are wrapped around each other eternally. At the very least, there's got to be two personalities then, right? They diagnosed me with everything except multiple personality disorder. So I have that on them. I mean, I got nowhere to go. And the fastest way to find out if there's any warrants for my arrest, practically speaking, of course, is just talk to the police upon exiting the aircraft. And the fastest way to do that is to have the stewardess ask the pilot to call them because the Wi-Fi was down. Oh, and that's on video too. Yeah, so we got AC1.2dream.ca, AC2.2dream.ca. Oh, I have to add those to the list. I haven't done that yet. Oh, that's good. Okay, so we're digging up, as we're digging up more of my past, more or less, regurgitate onto the internet. Because it's going to be the law enforcement officers that are going to have to watch this one first. And they're getting paid for their time. And they want to speed things up. And the fastest way to do that is to just let the media have all of this. Direct them to the very first one, which is sandman.2dream.ca. And if the Sandman Hotel chain complains that I am misrepresenting or otherwise appropriating their falsely used logo at the Sandman Hotel at 180 West Street, Georgia on the 16th of June 2024. Notice there's no more Vancouver slips, hey, when I'm trying to say a month. That was really weird in that. It was a video 9, vlog 9. In vlog 9, I was trying to say the month after a date, 26th, the email of the Pope, the big one, with the 2 cops as witnesses. The 26th June, JUN.2dream.ca. That email, and I couldn't say June, I kept saying Vancouver, and it came up about 4 times at least, I think. I haven't watched that video again. That was just something weird. But I figured must have been like 4 personalities that were charging me at the same time or something at that point, just to show that I'm not what I was saying before as a 4D, 4 personality entity. But I'm more than that. And it was an unnecessary, superfluous test, I was told. And they recognize that themselves, and that's sort of similar to our level as having forcibly injected me on the 2nd of July, which is equally unnecessary. They could have just paid the airplane ticket anyway. Yeah, but it leaves a mark. I'm not angry at them. I don't have any ill will. I don't even think about the past like that. You don't, like, the ground to me is like a living, it's like a dinosaur, like it's a living, like when I'm touching, this is like scales, this is like, it's alive, and a living thing doesn't carry the past like that, so it's a misperception. The past is a misperception, period, no matter what the past is. And so the focus should be on a future, a better future together. And in this sense, well, I started, kind of small, kind of followed the community of Christ. They have that puzzle there where it says start with me, and then include your family, and then include your environment, and then include the whole world. Well, I started with me, and I put the puzzle kind of together on the consistency one on that one. And I figured, well, okay, so consistently speaking, the most beneficial thing in my environment would be a rule to add practicality to it, to save people stress without breaking any laws. Well, okay, I could do that. So I started doing that. And then everybody started screaming and saying, you think he's better than us. I never thought that the whole time I was doing anything. Never. Well, I'm happy I'm at least allowed to sit outside now with my pipe and just, like, I had to hide this stuff before, and that leaves a lasting, like, a mark, I gotta hide. Like, it's not a nice feeling, and it's a habit that we build on ourselves. And this is the really, really unfortunate thing, and I just saw 1311. This is the really, really unfortunate thing. So this whole thing really began in an argument that I had with, okay, so I identify it as something that's not me, but I also must identify it as something that must be me if I share an eternal mind. Which makes the need of an argument ridiculous. Unfortunately, the other individual said that she loves to argue, and I was just really confused by that, because I'd never really heard anyone say that, and I'd never really been in any arguments like that. And and that's the really funny thing. I just grew up more honest. That was the only difference. She grew up almost as honest. Almost. So it is not incorrect to say, because honesty means consistency, if I am able to present the world with a worldwide plan of worldwide peace, able to happen overnight, which I did specifically in that 26june.2dream.ca email, then she would be Okay, let me finish that thought for you. I've tried to lead you down the line because I can now tell you that you've already been thinking that she might be something because I just put the thought in your head. But I hear a screen door. Oh yes, because they got a garage sale or a yard sale, so they would be going in and out. It's nice. I can just stay out here till the power dies. Oh, what a beautiful day. Honesty means consistency, and if you think about your mind like a spinning record of events, and memory is the ability to match 2 points in time so that you're actually matching two previously experienced events, no matter if you've seen it in a movie or experienced it in real life, so that a vision of a future event and a memory of a past event can be compared on the same scale, from which to choose a preferred route or direction or something to avoid. Or so you're always comparing that way in your mind, and that's kind of what you're doing with the record, that you're always amending and building at the same time. If you think of it more like a sphere of unlimited timelines, and you're always choosing the best one, that might make more sense, because then it's not an unlimited concept, but a limited fixed answer. So think of a sphere of unknown timelines, and you're always choosing the best one, and you're doing that by making sure the scales are always balanced. And that means speaking to the other person as though you were speaking to yourself, considering the other person as though they were yourself. So if you are able to come up with a plan to make real worldwide peace across the whole planet, that doesn't demonstrate anything to anybody but yourself, that you appear to be, relative to everybody else, smarter than everybody else, to the point that it's not even on the same scaling system anymore, then who is your counterpart? And that would be the woman who began the argument. And the argument was only about the right to send a message, to contact. The right to send a message. That's the specific point about the origin of this argument. Do I have an eternal right to send my own message or not? And in every dimension of time, the same operator behind her has met me. And so this is a story that's been written as, well, you've got your masculine godhead, and then you got your woman that sleeps with everybody. But she doesn't really sleep with everybody, guys. That was a big misunderstanding of the Catholic Church. She actually considers everybody equally, all equally. It's like basically like Mother Teresa. And my favorite Mother Teresa quote is, it's not a miracle that we do the work, it's a miracle that we're happy to do it, because when we're happy to do it, we want to keep doing it and do it better. So that's my favorite Mother Teresa quote. I have some other few quotes that I like blessed are the flexible, for they'll never be bent out of shape, and 6 to 1, half a dozen to the other. Yeah, like those. And a gentleman once told me while I was a waiter, this cool phrase, and I really appreciated him telling me this one. I told it to the psychiatrist, actually, to Sherwood, who insisted that I needed the medication. And I asked the man, it was 2003, early spring, Nick's Steakhouse in Calgary. And I asked him if he wanted anything else, and he said, "No, sir. My sufficiency has been suffoncified, or you've suffoncified my sufficiency. Any more would be superfluous. That second one, that's what he said. So, yeah. So I pieced that one apart and sent it back to the psychiatrist and got a smile out of her anyway. That was after the hand job. Foot job. Oh, foot job. Yeah. Oh, there's that whole thing. So the hbp.2dream.ca is the Hitler Bell proposal. And I name it such because a long time ago in the Jewish Nazi camp, there were many individuals who had many things that they didn't want the Nazis to find with them still. So they had a secret signaling system, and that signaling system was known as the Hitler Bell, because it was worn whenever Hitler or one of his goons came. And then when Hitler came and he saw the people running around and cleaning things up, they misunderstood him completely. Like they weren't like he wasn't like shoot the people that are moving. He was like, oh, thank goodness they're cleaning the camp up. It's always so nice when they're see me coming and cleaning the camp up, because then he's in a good mood, they're in a good mood, everybody's in a good mood, and you can get off on the right foot. So he wasn't trying to be intentionally grumpy. As a matter of fact, I think that guy there had got off more than he could chew, to be honest with you. I don't think he knew what he was doing. He was praying to God too, for sure he was. And then anyway, that was a mistaken belief about the need of the physical in learning about yourself as a non-physical entity. It was just a mistaken perception. Just let it go at that. A lot more people have died in a lot worse ways throughout history that remain unrecorded. Truly. Oh my God, truly. And it shows me pictures of that too. Then when I talk like that, I see flashes. I can't match it up with anything I've seen in a history book, but I see the actual battlefields and stuff like that, and just goes. It's pretty cool. I mean, it's like being able to access like another dimensional computer system. It's who says we don't have the ability right now? I mean, people are talking about there being a God all the time anyway, right? So I mean, what's God possible of, and what isn't he? Who knows? I don't know. I'm not the one to judge. Of course, the Miracles taught me that. acim.2dream.ca. Oh, thank you. This whole story began with a plan to build a school in its own city that was also its own country from land that's currently owned in Canada to graduate official teachers of the book, A Course in Miracles. Oh, that's a wonderful end to this one. And this is vlog. I'm not even sure what vlog I'm on now. Well, but the most important vlog page is the first 01. Is the just only vlog.2dream.ca. So start there, and then work your numbers up, 1 to all the way up.